During the Tet Lunar New Year of 1968, as the Viet Cong were being driven out of Hue and other cities in northern South Vietnam by the Republic of Vietnam Armed Forces, the Viet Cong abducted many civilians of the ancient capital and its outskirts as hostages to cover their escape. More than 1 year later, on March 25, 1969, there was a rumor that a mass grave of the Viet Cong victims had been uncovered in Phu Thu District, Tu Tien Province. Scores of people rushed to the Dong Di, Dong Son, Dong Lac, Quang Xuyen areas where other graves were suspected to be. Under the burning sun and in the hot sand, the people begin to dig in the suspected spots. And there appears the horrible truth. The first bodies were uncovered at 11 a.m. on March 27th. These bodies were found in a state of disintegration and contraction, with proof that the victims had been savagely tortured before being hastily buried under the sand. Thousands of people stand in horror-struck silence, mothers crying for their dead sons, wives their husbands, children their parents. With each body found, the crowd moves closer to try to identify the corpse amongst sorrowful tears, cries, and the repugnant odor of death covering the scene. During the first digging phase, from March 27th to April 4th, 135 bodies were found. They were of all ages. Old men, women, youth, even children under 12 years of age. Incense sticks are placed by trembling hands, eyes clouded with tears. The search continued day after day. On April 7th and 8th, another grave 850 meters long, dug from Dong Son to Dong Lac villages, was found to contain 98 bodies. Most of the bodies, with their hands tied behind their backs, still bore the traces of brutal torture, such as broken skulls, jaws, spines, and limbs. The third digging phase began on April 11th. Hundreds of other bodies were found, hastily buried under the sand. The local authorities devoted themselves to help the people. They provided transportation to move the remains, made coffins, and assembled the bodies for a decent burial. The district chief, civil servants, regional and popular forces, and the People's Self-Defense Forces did not fear hardships nor the bad odor, to work night and day and share the people's sorrow. At the assembling point, hundreds of coffins are lined up side by side amidst the solemn atmosphere and smoke from the incense sticks. The atmosphere of death covers a whole nation whose sole aspiration is to live in peace, but still has to fight an enemy who uses for a weapon blind massacre. time has come to see the victims to their last place of rest. The People's Self-Defense Forces tie bamboo sticks to each coffin. Everyone is working with sincerity and respect. The husbands and sons of these countryside women were farmers trying to make their fields more productive, teachers, simple workers. Coffin after coffin is moved out of the gate and lined up for the last journey. The funeral procession extends for miles and moves slowly, escorted by mourning music. Simple coffins follow each other to the cemetery. Close together in death, the victims now travel together in their last journey. Straw hats of the boat girls pushing their boats gently on the perfume river cannot be seen today. The straw hats of the shy Donghan schoolgirls in their robes cannot be seen today on the Trong Tien Bridge. The only straw hats seen today hide the mourning turbans above tear-clouded eyes and white robes, color of suffering, color of indignation borne by the South Vietnamese in a common sorrow. Here is the cemetery. The coffins wait beside the graves before resting in the earth forever. Civilian and military authorities are present to bid farewell to the dead. The burial begins among the monks' prayers and the cries from the victims' relatives. Once again, a page of the history of this nation has been stained by a cruel, bloody, and tearful communist atrocity. Long afterward, the people will tremble and curse the murderers when this page is recalled.